other people as strongly as we could. So if Duncan's happy with the technology, so I'm going to hand over to Duncan.
Thank you. Well, good to see you all, and just open our little conference with this idea that God is in search of man, that it's not that the Bible is a riddle to be solved, and God has given us his Son, given us the Bible, and said, well, it's over to you guys. If you can figure out the riddle, and if you can get through all that, then you're welcome to my salvation relationship with me. But it's over to you now. I've done my bit, it's over to you. No. Parables of Luke 15. There is Jesus saying that God and himself are like the woman who has lost a coin. And the woman in those days owned nothing. She did not even own her own body, her own clothes. All she had was the 10 coins she was given when she got married. And to lose one of them was to lose something very personal and very, very intimate. That is who we are to God. And he is out there searching for us. And likewise, the lost sheep, Jesus says, what man of you is there who has 100 sheep and he loses one, would go out and look for it? Well, the answer to that is nobody. Most shepherds would accept a 1% loss, that's fair enough. 1% loss is what goes with the territory. But this shepherd is unusual. No, he will go out and try by all means to find. He goes out. He takes the initiative. And of course, when he finds it, then there is this joy in heaven. And so people may say, oh, well, I was searching for God, you know. I was searching for the truth. And in a sense, that is so. But the point is that it's not one-sided. Yes, you may be searching for God, for Jesus, but God and Jesus are searching for you. And when the two sides meet, well, of course, there is, heaven is electric, as it were. That everybody in heaven, the angels, are absolutely rejoicing that finally the two came together. And all the way through the Old Testament you see this. God says, I have found David my servant. Like he was out looking for him, and he found him. In Jeremiah 5, Jeremiah is told, go and run around the streets and squares of the city to see if you can find a man for me. And that was representing, of course, how God was out there searching in the streets and squares of Jerusalem. Israel, God says, I found Israel. I found Israel in the wilderness. The people that were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel. So they were searching for God, and God was searching for them. God found Jacob at Bethel, and there he spoke with us. God was searching and finding these people. And there is a Yiddish saying about God. Going out to meet him, I met him coming toward me. In other words, you think that you're finding God, but actually he's coming for you. So all these folks out there in this world who are searching, who are doing Google searches, who are looking for something to do with God, to do with Jesus, God is out to meet them, and God is searching for people, and he will use us in that search. And yet, on the other hand, as we read in the book of Job, can you, by searching, find out God? This is the problem with the idea that all you've got to do is get a Bible, read it from cover to cover, solve the riddle, and then you have found God. By searching, in that sense, you cannot find out God. God is coming for you, and you've got to be open to his connection with you. I think that's an important thing to understand, that the Bible is not in that sense a riddle to be solved. And that's why Paul says, but now you have come to know God, or rather are known by him. And I like that. It's not so much us knowing God, it is him knowing us. It's him coming for us. We find grace. You don't find ultimate truth, you find, in a sort of theological sense, academic sense, you find grace. Now, we keep reading it, that God is finding people, but the word means to go forth to. That's a Hebrew idea, you look it up. God is going out, searching for people. This is the idea. So, we may think that nobody's interested in God. But people are. People are in search for the Father. I remember an early Carelinks Conference in Australia, quite a long time ago now. John Stibb spoke about man's search for God. And he talked about experiments done in the early days of colonisation in Australia where Aboriginal children were taken away from their fathers and then their behaviour, or from their parents, and their behaviour was studied over their lifetime. And all of them had this great desire to find the Father. Is he here? Is he there? And a great interest if you said to them, oh, yeah, we found your father, and you know what, he was actually an author, wrote a book. And they were, oh, where's the book? I want to read my father's book. And you can see the point, that we can't see God. But there is a hole in the heart of every human being that only God and Jesus can fill. So what about all the atheists? Well, I would say that atheism is a reaction against religion. The atheists I know, who are real hardcore atheists, they were all raised in religious families. They were religious at one point in their lives. Atheism is fake in that sense. It is a psychological reaction. Everybody has got this thing in their psyche where if you mention the things of God and of Jesus, you've connected with a need they have. Because subconsciously they are searching. I'm going to talk later about Google and Google ads and what goes on Google and all the things people are searching for on Google. It's unbelievable that so many people are searching. They're not searching for where are my local Christadelphians, where is my local church, where is a local Bible study. No, not searching for that. But people are searching. Unusual people, we might think, are searching. And this is why. Because it's normal and it's natural to want to find the Father. And so, Jesus says, go out into all the world and share the gospel with everybody, and I am with you to the end of the world or to the end of the age. And how does that work out? Well, it's because he wants to reach people. And if you and I go out and do that, he is absolutely thrilled by that. He's delighted. He wants to work through it. If you have a vision to, share the gospel with people in your immediate locality, he's all on that, he's thrilled with that, he's delighted with that, absolutely delighted, because he wants to find those people as well. And so you will find in whatever you try to do, in the work of sharing the gospel, there is this special presence of Jesus. Somehow the resources are made possible, somehow the connections happen. And as I said, later on I'll talk about the app and Google ads and all that sort of thing. But everybody who's out there tapping into Google, as it were, their search about God, God's watching that. God knows all things. He knows the colour of the, I was going to say colour of your underpants, but he knows the colour of the sweater that you're wearing. He knows absolutely all things. He knows every micro thought going through every heart and mind. He knows every Google search. He knows exactly what people are thinking about in their head. And when we rush out to respond, he's interested. We're going to talk later about the app, but when you develop an app, you get registered as a developer, as a Google developer. That gives you access to certain things to do with Google, such as being able to see what search terms are being searched for in which country. And it is amazing that all over the world, people are asking these questions. Why does God allow suffering? What happens after we're dead? And you can see there's a bloke in Antarctica asking that question. Presumably, not a penguin, but presumably somebody out there working, doing something or other. There's a guy on the Faroe Islands doing searches. You can't drill down more and see who is this guy, where is he, what's his address, because I want to go down and send him a Bible Basics or something, and you can't go that far down. But it is incredible what people are searching for. People are in search. They're in search. Well, as I say, they're not typing in, oh, where's my local Christadelphians or where's my local church. No, sorry, they're not into that at all. But they are searching, and that is quite normal because man is in search of God. And atheism, as I say, is a sort of overgrown, sort of adolescent sort of kicking over the traces kind of response. So it's all rubbish. No, that is fake, I would say. Lots of people are searching. Lots of people. People of all kinds of social backgrounds, people of all sorts of ethnic backgrounds, people of all kinds of geographical locations. People are searching. You see, don't you, everywhere. People on their phones, madly looking at these screens all the time. What are they doing? What are they doing? Looking at, what are they tapping on their screens? The great thing about this online life is that nobody knows what you're tapping on your screen. But people are searching. Unusual people. Footballers. Professional footballers. Highly qualified, highly successful professionals, businessmen. People who are no-hopers on the other end of the spectrum. People sitting around, maybe ill with whatever reason, can't get out, depressed, whatever. They're searching for God. So don't think that nobody is interested, because sure, people are not looking to come to church. That is, I'm afraid, like it or not, but that's how it is. But people are searching. Absolutely. And God is in search of man. And we are on his side. We are going out to try to find those people. And that's just what God's doing. So he is with us, and in all that we do, in this attempt to reach people, to find people, God is and Jesus are absolutely with us. Absolutely with us. You can always feel their presence, because this is so much what they want.